The Forbidden Room. I had just moved into an old Victorian house, full of character and history. It was a dream come true, or so I thought. The moment I stepped foot inside, an inexplicable feeling of unease washed over me. The air felt heavy, as if carrying the weight of forgotten secrets. As I settled into my new home, I couldn't help but feel a strange aura surrounding the basement. The previous owners had always kept it locked, warning me to stay away. They would glance at the basement door with fear in their eyes, refusing to offer any explanation for their caution. But curiosity gnawed at me like an itch I couldn't scratch. Late one night, the house shrouded in darkness, I found myself unable to resist the pull any longer. Armed with a flashlight, I made my way down the creaky stairs, my heart pounding in my chest. The air grew colder as I descended, and a musty scent permeated the atmosphere, mingling with the scent of damp earth. The basement greeted me with dimly lit gloom, its silence broken only by the distant hum of the furnace. Dust particles floated through the air like ethereal spirits, their dance illuminated by the beam of my flashlight. My eyes darted around, taking in the stacks of old furniture and crates covered in cobwebs, remnants of a forgotten past. Amidst the clutter, my attention was drawn to an inconspicuous wooden door tucked away in the far corner of the basement. It was weathered and worn, its paint faded and chipped. The door seemed to emit an eerie energy, a siren's call that beckoned me closer, despite the warnings that echoed in my mind. Ignoring the cautionary tales, I mustered the courage to approach it. The wood was cool beneath my trembling fingers as I reached out, hesitating for a moment before pushing the door open, revealing a hidden chamber beyond. As the door swung open, a musty smell grew stronger, mingling with a hint of decay. My flashlight's beam pierced the darkness, revealing shelves lined with ancient books and peculiar objects. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meaning lost to time. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, sending a shiver down my spine. Heart pounding, I cautiously stepped into the chamber, my footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. Every instinct screamed for me to turn back, to seal the door and pretend I had never discovered this secret domain. But an insatiable curiosity pushed me forward, compelling me to explore the mysteries hidden within these walls. The sight that greeted me in the hidden chamber froze me in my tracks. It was unlike anything I could have ever imagined. The room was a treasure trove of forgotten knowledge and forbidden artifacts. Shelves upon shelves filled with ancient tomes and weathered scrolls lined the walls, their spines cracked with age and their pages yellowed with time. Each book seemed to whisper secrets and stories long forgotten. Peculiar artifacts adorned every available surface. Cracked porcelain dolls with glassy eyes stared back at me, their frozen smiles sending a shiver down my spine. A tarnished silver dagger, engraved with intricate symbols, lay atop a velvet cushion, its purpose unknown but undoubtedly linked to the mysteries that surrounded it. As I cautiously explored the room, my eyes fell upon an ornate wooden box nestled in the center of a dusty table. It seemed to radiate an inexplicable aura, drawing me closer with an irresistible magnetic force. Intrigued yet apprehensive, I gingerly lifted the lid, unsure of what I might uncover. Inside, I discovered a collection of aged photographs, each one depicting a different person. The images were faded and worn, their colors muted by time. But what struck me was the haunting expression etched on each face, their eyes filled with terror, their mouths contorted in anguish. It was as if the very essence of their fear had been captured within the frames. A chill ran down my spine, and I felt as though the room had grown colder. The air grew heavy with an unexplainable presence. I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than I could have ever anticipated. Before I could fully comprehend the gravity of my find, a chilling breeze swept through the chamber, extinguishing the flickering candle flames that cast eerie shadows on the walls. The shadows seemed to dance with a life of their own, morphing into grotesque shapes and whispering secrets that sent shivers down my spine. Panic set in, and I hastily closed the box, vowing never to return to this forbidden room again. From that day forward, the house took on a new sinister aura. Strange occurrences plagued my every step. Doors slammed shut with a force that defied explanation, disembodied voices echoed through the hallways, and unexplained cold drafts seeped through the cracks. It became evident that I had awakened something ancient and malevolent within the depths of that forbidden room. Desperate for answers and a way to restore peace to my once beloved home, I sought the help of a local historian. Together, we delved into the history of the house. unearthing tales of dark rituals, tragic events, and unspeakable horrors. It became clear that the forbidden room held the key to the house's dark past and the source of the malevolence that now consumed it. In the ensuing weeks, armed with newfound knowledge and a determination to break the curse, we embarked on a dangerous journey. We sought forbidden books, ancient rituals, and the aid of others who had encountered similar hauntings. With each step closer to unraveling the mystery, the supernatural occurrences escalated, testing our resolve and pushing us to the brink of madness. Will we succeed in breaking the curse and restore peace to the house? Or will the dark forces lurking within the forbidden room claim us as their own, forever trapped in a web of nightmares and despair? Only time will tell as we face the chilling consequences of our curiosity and the horrors hidden in the depths of the basement. The Sinister Smiling Man. It was a moonless night, and the city was swallowed by darkness. Exhausted from a long day at work, I decided to take a shortcut through a dimly lit park to reach the comfort of my apartment. The park was usually a peaceful haven, but on this night, an unsettling stillness hung in the air, causing an icy shiver to run down my spine. As I walked along the deserted path, a peculiar sensation washed over me, a feeling of being watched. I couldn't shake the persistent unease, as if unseen eyes were tracing my every move. The park's once welcoming atmosphere now felt oppressive, its shadows whispering secrets I wasn't meant to hear. Trying to dismiss my growing apprehension, I quickened my pace, hoping to escape the unnerving presence that seemed to trail behind me. But just as I rounded a bend, out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of movement, a figure lurking in the shadows, partially obscured by the trees. I turned my head, and my heart nearly skipped a beat. There, standing beneath a flickering lamppost, was a man with a sinister smile etched across his face. His eyes, devoid of warmth or humanity, locked onto mine with an intensity that sent chills down my spine. It was as if he could see into the depths of my soul, peering through the fragile facade I presented to the world. A primal fear took hold of me, an instinctual warning that something was terribly wrong. His smile, stretched unnaturally wide, seemed to mock me, fueling the disquiet that surged within me. His presence exuded an aura of malevolence, an unseen force that radiated like a poisonous cloud. I tried to look away, to break the connection that seemed to bind us, but I couldn't tear my gaze from his haunting visage. It was as if I had been ensnared in some macabre dance, and I was a captive audience to the twisted performance he presented. My instinct screamed at me to flee, to escape this eerie encounter before it consumed me entirely. I mustered the courage to turn my back on the man and picked up my pace, desperate to put distance between myself and this haunting figure. But no matter how fast I walked, the man seemed to match my every step, his unnerving smile never faltering. It was as if he were playing a malevolent game with me, toying with my fear. Fear gripped me, turning my every footfall into a frantic sprint. Panic fueled my movements as I navigated the labyrinthine park, my heart pounding in my chest. The world around me blurred as I focused solely on escaping the clutches of the sinister smiling man, my only goal to find sanctuary in the safety of familiar surroundings. My heart pounded in my chest as I raced through the deserted streets, desperate to escape the clutches of the sinister smiling man. Fear drove me forward, my breath ragged and heavy with panic. With every step, the sound of my own footsteps echoed in my ears, a constant reminder of the lurking danger behind me. I could hear the echo of his footsteps, growing closer with every passing moment. The knowledge that he was still in pursuit sent a surge of adrenaline through my veins. I dared not look back, fearing what I might see, the haunting figure with his unyielding smile, his eyes piercing through the darkness like twin flames of malevolence. My mind raced with questions. Who was he? Why was he after me? What horrors lay hidden beneath that sinister smile? The weight of the unknown bore down on me, adding to the terror that coursed through my veins. As I ran, the city streets became a blur of familiar landmarks, their significance lost in the haze of my fear. My only instinct was survival, to find a place of refuge, somewhere that could shield me from the relentless pursuit. In my panic, I spotted an open convenience store up ahead, its fluorescent lights casting a warm glow onto the sidewalk. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I pushed my legs to move faster, my desperate hope fixated on the sanctuary that lay just a few strides away. With a burst of energy, I stumbled through the door, seeking solace from the lurking menace. The store clerk glanced up from behind the counter, surprised by the wild look in my eyes. I approached him, trying to catch my breath, and began recounting the harrowing encounter I had just experienced. To my surprise, the store clerk's face turned pale, and a look of dread washed over him. He leaned in closer, his voice trembling, and shared a chilling tale. The Sinister Smiling Man, he said, was no mere figment of my imagination. He was a local urban legend, an entity that haunted those who found themselves alone at night, his smile forever etched in the nightmares of those unlucky enough to encounter him. The clerk's words sent shivers down my spine, confirming the horrifying reality of my encounter. Stories circulated about his relentless pursuit, his ability to infiltrate the minds of his victims and leave them scarred and forever changed. The Sinister Smiling Man was not just a fleeting encounter but a malevolent force. A dark presence that followed his chosen prey until he claimed them for his own. Shaken to my core, I realized that I had stumbled upon something far more insidious than a chance encounter. The Smiling Man was not a random pursuer but a calculated predator, lurking in the shadows, preying on unsuspecting souls. From that night on, I vowed to never walk alone after dark. The memory of the Sinister Smiling Man's chilling smile serves as a constant reminder, a reminder to always trust my instincts and to be wary of the darkness that can hide unimaginable horrors. As I exited the convenience store, I cast a cautious glance over my shoulder, half expecting to see the Sinister Smiling Man standing there, waiting. But the streets were empty, the night reclaiming its silence. The chase was over, for now. But I knew in the depths of my being that the encounter with the Sinister Smiling Man had changed me forever. The scars left by his haunting presence would forever serve as a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, waiting to seize the unwary.